Good day, Ben Ryan here. Today on No Impact Adventures we travel to the Akara Flinders Ranges National Park in South Australia, where we'll be showing you how you can leave no trace while camping and hiking on the land. While we'll also be meeting up with some old mates of mine. So what are you waiting for? Let's start another No Impact Adventure.
The sun of a new day rises at dawn in the Akara Flinders Ranges National Park, and that sure meant it was time for me to hit the road to go out to the beginning of the annual hiking and camping event in Wilpena Pound and meet up with some old mates of mine to begin our adventure.
After arriving at Wilpena Pound, I didn't hesitate to go say good day to the people I'd be walking with. Good day, good day. It was soon time to hit the track, but first things first. I've never gone to the outback without knowing what I'm going to be doing and having the correct equipment. One of the most important principles in Leave No Trace, in a no impact adventure for me, is planning ahead and preparing. The Leave No Trace outdoor ethics say that this is crucial to ensure that you outline your goals, assess the abilities of your participants, in which case I have already, and extensively study or obtain information about the land you're travelling over from land managers or property managers. This also includes choosing appropriate equipment and trying to pack as light as possible, and understanding rules and regulations of the area, including fire bans and private property borders. However, I also have some of my no-impact tips. You must always consider the terrain and weather in which you're going through. Now, currently in the Flinders, it's winter, so it's going to be pretty cold throughout the nights, and it's going to be quite moderate during the day, but shouldn't be too warm, which is good for walking. It's also important now to make sure you know which route you're going on. So as you can see here, I have the map, and we're going to be going from here up to here. Yep, so we're going to be stopping there, and then yep, that's our walk. And as well, it's also important to consider this Naismith's law. This is really important because it helps you to calculate the speed you go up. It helps you to calculate the correct distance you'll be walking for. In doing this, all you're doing is you're calculating for every 600, I think your normal average speed is 3 kilometers an hour or so. But however, for every 600 you go up, you add 1 hour for every 600 meters you go up in elevation. I think that's, is that right? I don't know. Is that right? I'm trying to think. Never mind. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Now that was out of the way, it was time to hit the trail, and boy, it was a long one. Our walk would take us from Wilpena Pound to Parachuna Gorge along the Heiston Trail, a 1,270-kilometre trail which spans from Cape Jarvis until the Parachuna Gorge trailhead and then back again. On the trail ahead, we would see many sights, from vast arid peaks to ruins and native wildlife.
With the weather starting to change now, moving to spring, native species are starting to come out of hibernation. Now, some of these native species are very dangerous out here, especially in the Flinders, and you've always got to be alert. Oh my god, snake, don't move. No, it's just a stick.
Back on the trail, we were making progress, and soon enough we arrived at our overnight campground, the Yan Yana Hut Campground.
Okay, now we've just finished setting up our campsite now. An important principle of Leave No Trace is camping on durable surfaces as well as walking on durable surfaces. Now, as you can see here, although we've made our campsite on a designated campground, if there is no designated campground, it's recommended by Trail Hiking Australia that you do it on snow, rocks or gravel are usually very good surfaces. As well as this, it also needs to be 200 metres away from any water to prevent any pollution to the water from the campsite. Now, I like to do something called the durability test to ensure that this area is durable. Now what you need for this is what I like to call a hammer, which I never go into the bush without. So to do the durability test, you simply get down here and you test whether the ground will break and make an indent, and that means it's not durable. But if it is durable, it won't make an indent. So let's do the test. Ow! Oh, oh. Now, okay, to go into another principle, this is really important. Okay, this principle involves disposing of waste properly. Now, although this can mean other waste such as litter and pollution, in our case in particular, I would like to bring up human waste. Now, when you're camping or walking in the bush, what you're going to do to dispose of your human waste properly is make sure if you need to go, if you need to do it, yep, do it. If you need to do it, you need to go approximately 80 steps away from any water source, and well away from any trail, so it doesn't go anywhere near the trail. And what you're going to do basically is dig a hole. According to the trek, you've got to dig a hole that is approximately 15 centimeters deep, as I'll show here. Then you copper squat, and then you go and do it. And then after, you bury it in. Now moving on, I've seen now we're going to start setting up our campfire. Now, I've noticed all around our campsite there's a lot of firewood. However, I'm just going to go, it looks perfect for our needs, so I'm just going to go get it now. But no, that's the wrong thing to do. A well-known principle of leave no trace is leaving what you find. This means not taking anything like sticks to use for firewood, as they're really crucial.
This wood and other materials are often used by ants and wedge-tailed eagles to build their nests, therefore it is important that they are not removed.
As were the others, I was soon getting cold as well. Now, we all decided that we were keen to start a campfire. So, out here, but first it was imperative that I discuss the minimising the impact of campfires with leave no trace principle. Now, according to leave no trace, this involves making sure if you are having a campfire, if it's absolutely necessary, you try and attempt to do it where there's a fire scar already made from other fires. So what you do, so this is a nice spot because it's been a designated campsite, so obviously it's been used before. Now, in terms of our fire, what we're going to do is we're going to set it and make sure we always supervise it, and we remember to put it out after we're done with it. Because complacency or a simple mistake here out in the Flinders can cause significant damage through bushfires. Now, since we've started it now, it's time to go have a beer. Cheers.
Back on the trail the next day, we still had a little bit to go, but boy, I could feel we were getting close. While we walked through the valleys of timeless rocks which are timeless, saw ruins which formed an important part of the state's heritage, and much native wildlife, which bring me to one of the L&T principles which is very close to my heart.
Respect wildlife. This principle is quite simple in that it just basically involves not approaching or touching any native animals or wildlife. Now, according to the Outbound, it's also important you don't feed these animals as well, because it can cause dietary changes, and also don't bring your dogs into the national parks at all, or pets, because they can compete and they can even kill native animals. Now, down here I've just noticed before we're just about to walk again, I've just noticed there's a possum here. Now, these are very native species, and on behalf of the national park I've been asked to tag them. So I'm just going to get my tag out now quickly, and then with our walk almost coming to a close, I thought it would be time to reflect on some memories we've had. But wait, I've forgotten one more principle of the L&T, leave no trace. This involves being respectful to your hosts, in this case being the national park, and also other visitors, which in our case is slightly more important. Now this involves basically all you have to do is just follow all the other leave no trace principles I've told you about today, And then also be courteous to others, like maybe move out the way if they're walking behind you on the trail if you're going a bit slower. Not having brakes in the same place as them, and reducing the noise level. Now, this is very important in ensuring that everyone has enjoyment from the path. We have now come to the end of our annual hiking, camping trip. I would like to thank you for watching and hope you can join me on another no impact adventure. Good night.